got going on today, Kevin?
We're going to HRS, Hair Replacement Systems. We're gonna get a quote. You're gonna get a quote with me? You're gonna get a quote? We're gonna get the buy one, get one free deal. I hope Ed's paying. I get the free one.
Out and about with the slow car today.
What we doing?
Had the IRA yesterday. It'll be back out. It's my daily. This is the weekend slow fun car. What's up?
Hey guys, we're back with Ed yet again. What are we doing today, Ed?
Going for a drive as usual.
Yeah, as usual. What are we eating?
Cereal bar. That they can't make the wrapper correct because it's got a tear thing, but it won't actually open. Just like BMW, they make a key. They give you 2 keys. Only one key actually works.
BMW.
What's up?
When we get off on Airport Drive, we're going to turn right. We're going to go to the next T. We're going to turn left. The next turn is very hard to see. I wrote down instructions. Look for it because that's where we lost half the group last time. Which one? The one that says, look for this turn. Look carefully, everyone. So what we're going to do is make sure that if you have someone behind you and they have problems, you know, let us know. Just kind of like honk the horn or something. Every time Ed comes to a stop, we're going to wait till the last car comes up into the back in sight so we don't lose anybody. If for some reason you get hopelessly lost and you can't follow the directions, we're going to wind up at Biggin's Barbecue, which the address is there for lunch. We should be getting there about, probably about 12 because we're about 15 minutes behind.
We'll speed up. We can make up time in the air.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is there an EV charging station somewhere?
I know, right? Hey, Scott, he already asked that like 5 minutes ago. Where were you?
Okay, he was dragging.
He's just like too slow.
Just
like his car.
That's a joke. That's a joke. We know it's fast.
She parks better than you, Ed.
I know. As long as she doesn't hit my car.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
okay
yeah,
if she runs into David's car.
Yeah, no problem there.
He's got another one. So let's go ahead. See ya.
No, they sponsor me.
Oh, this sponsor you? Ah, okay.
I don't know, it's for free, so it doesn't taste too bad. It's tangerine, I guess. Yeah.
No.
Oh, like that? Yeah. Here, I got you.
Get that on video. Get that on video.
Alright, chat. What's going on here? What is going on here?
Alright.
Hey, Frank. What do you think about that downforce over there?
That's real.
Look at that. Look at that design. Thank you. You're what? 15 years now? 8 years? That's awesome.
Don't be fooled. It's not a 720S. It's McLaren 765 LT. And how do you know if it's a real 765 LT? That's one. Take a look right here. Right there on the vent, 765. That's how you know if it's a real 765 LT.
Okay, today's topic is a serious one. Oil pump failures. Let that sink in for a minute. If you have an oil pump failure on your McLaren, you most likely are going to get an oil pressure light on the dash. Heed that warning. We've seen far too often the oil pump shaft will break. I'll show you that in a moment. You no longer have any oil pressure on the rest of the engine, but it's still running. It may sound normal, it may not sound normal, but that oil pressure light's on. If that's the case, immediately shut the engine off. We need to find out the issue and resolve it. Let's talk about what we see on this particular car right here. Customer complained, oil pressure light came on. When he started the car, he was about 3 miles away from home, so he decided, hey, I'm just gonna drive home. If I put my wrench on the front of the engine and I focus right here, this side over here is the water pump. Water pump. But if I focus here, when I rotate the engine, the timing belts are all in this area, timing chains are all in this area. They're rotating the water pump, which drives the AC compressor in tandem. Watch as I rotate it, and if you look here, I've got some print marks on the other side over here. As I rotate the engine, you can see this coupler's rotating as well, indicating that that shaft through the water pump is intact and working properly, driving the AC compressor. If we look on the other side of the engine, here we have the oil pump driven off of the timing chains again, and it drives the alternator in tandem. And without even rotating the engine, you can see I can already rotate this, which should be a direct drive. That tells me the shaft inside this oil pump has snapped right here, and we no longer have any oil pressure to the top of the engine. In order of events, what typically happens, first you lose oil pressure to the furthest most points. That's going to be the camshafts. The camshafts will lock up and micro weld themselves. Then the cam phaser bolt will back out, allowing the cam phaser to rotate freely on the camshaft. Engine still runs, the car runs rough. You've got an oil pressure issue. You're starting to kill the engine. If you continue to drive any further, you're at risk of locking up the main bearings on the crankshaft and even the pistons. So what can we do? If the oil pressure light comes on and you stop, let someone diagnose this real quick. You want to make sure that you have a direct coupling here and the engine can rotate. By the way, right now this engine rotates very difficult. So I know we already have bearing damage. We're going to get it out and inspect everything. But the goal would be, if you don't drive when that oil pump fails and you see the light, we can save the engine. We can save the engine. It's going to save you a lot of money. If you continue to drive, everything becomes garbage. It's a metal milkshake inside, and you got to replace the whole unit. We promised to show you what the damage looks like inside the pump. Let's take a look at two different pumps. We're going to see, number one, a pump that's partially damaged, and then we'll take a look at a pump that's completely damaged. This is the nose cone of the pump. This is where the pulley runs and the timing chain rotates this pump. The design has needle bearings, and the needle bearings provide the rotating surface. If they lose lubrication, what happens, and if you see this nose cone, this, where the needle bearings aligns right here with the shaft. Now let's look at the shaft. You can see the damage in my fingernail. I can cut, this is about a 1/2 millimeter, maybe not that much, maybe a 1/4 millimeter down already. This pump is on its way to breaking. Now let's look at a pump that's already broken. Okay, so the next pump we're going to look at, this pump's actually sheared off. The shaft is broken. We can see we still have the gear. We can see this is rotating freely, which means the engine can be running, but it's not turning the pump. When we pull it out and we look at the damage, now the needle bearings have eaten all the way far enough into the shaft, and the shaft is being pulled at an angle, so as it's rotating, it is literally flexing this piece of metal back and forth, just like you were doing a coat hanger back and forth. And if you did that for long enough with a coat hanger, it eventually breaks. And this is snapped, is sheared straight off. This engine, unfortunately, this is the one where the guy kept driving. He thought the light was just another McLaren light, nothing really to worry about. But unfortunately, that was an expensive decision. So today's patient is a 675 LT. Little known fact, 500 coupes were built and then 500 spiders. So limited to 1,000 cars total, 500 of each. Each car is pretty much unique. But what makes this car maybe a one of one, if you know of different, please put it in the comments. This car actually was ordered with black anodized knobs. I've never seen it before. Usually these are silver, but wow, look at the effect. That is such a clean look. All of these knobs here. I'm wanting to custom order a car now. I want to custom order this one.